Hello everyone, I'm back with another book review. Today I am reviewing Hunting Death by R.M. Methvin. It's a, it's a smaller book. How was it? Well, let's get into that, shall we? So, as per usual, first thing we do is plot. And I can't really talk about this plot very much without giving away spoilers because despite it being such a little book, there's a lot that happens in it. Basically, girl goes to Ireland because she likes vampires, hears about this castle. She thinks vampires are not real, so on and so forth, and I'm pretty sure you guys can pick it up from there. If you want to know more, you're going to have to read the book. So, because I can't really get into it, it's really hard for me to really justify why I'm giving the plot a 5 out of 5. You're just going to have to trust me on this one. Or read the book and understand. I read the book. You'll understand why I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Characters. These are some really, really well written characters. It doesn't matter who's doing what or who's saying what. I always knew who was saying what at any given moment. They all have their own distinct characteristics and personalities, and it's just really, really well done. And that's, there's four characters. Well, I guess technically five speaking characters. I don't know, six speaking characters. All in all. And three of them are predominantly throughout the book. So, in order for that to really work, you got to be pretty good at what you're doing, and you kind of got to have characters that really work in terms of their own personalities. So yeah, this works. It characters are straight up 5 out of 5. I'm really happy with how they turned out. Research and imagination. This one kind of has a bit of a ball and chain around it in terms of imagination because it's the whole hunter vampire thing. It's nothing overly new, and it's nothing that you haven't really seen before. There are a few newer additions and a few newer things that you don't normally see in terms of this that I was really happy to see. But for the most part, it's really nothing new. In terms of research, yeah, I would say there was a decent amount of research that went into this. I was especially happy with the pronunciations of the Irish words because it broke down how to actually say these words, and I'm still not entirely sure that I say them correctly. That's just kind of how that one goes. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, just because it does have that bit of a ball and chain already attached to it. Still, an impressive amount of work went into this. Just there's only so much that can go into it. Writing. The writing was good. It was really good. It was a nice, easy read. There was at no point where I was confused with anything. It was just well written. It does lose a point though based on its formatting. As you can see, there's a lot of blank space on these pages. And that could be a stylistic choice. It could very well be stylistic. And it's definitely not, it definitely didn't ruin the book in any shape, way, or form for me. But it was a little distracting at first. So it does lose a point just for that, but that's kind of a hang up on my end. Yeah, really, that's just all it is. It's a hang up on my end. And finally, the ending. I have a lot to say about the ending. All of it is spoilers. So, go to this time if you do not want spoilers. If you don't mind spoilers, then, continue forward. It's up to you. Are they gone? Okay, so, the main character, Charlotte, is kidnapped by the main vampire. The hunters, Blair and Eamon, have also enlisted this guy that they saved, Finnegan, to go save them. Finnegan, being under the Vampire King's spell, is playing them, so on and so forth. The They go to the castle, big fight scene happens, and it turns out Charlotte was turned. And also in defeating the Vampire King, Finnegan kind of loses his mind. Not in the means that he goes crazy. It's just kind of he's locked inside his own head, incapable of actually doing anything or saying anything. He's basically, almost an inanimate object in his own way. So, and then after all of that, Blair and Eamon do not get back together. Because, they're an estranged couple from, hundreds of years ago. And I've got to say, I love that ending. Loved it so much. Like, I knew the whole fight scene was going to go down, and, you got the whole, is she or isn't she going to be turned sort of thing. And most authors would do the whole, nope, she's not turned, it's all good. And Finnegan, he goes through a little bit, but he'll be fine in the end. And Blair and Eamon may or may not get back together. Who knows? Blah 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 blah. No, this ends on such a melancholic note that it is beautifully heart-wrenching. Not only did this author show that she has some serious writer balls, but has the capacity to stick the landing. I have dreamed of reading an ending like that. This ending straight up gets a 5 out of 5 from me. And if I could do more, I would. Because I love melancholic endings. I love endings that you really wanted things to go well, but then they just don't. She turns into the vampire, so Blair has to kill her. Finnegan is not going to be okay. His girlfriend is probably going to have to look after him for the rest of her life. Unless she decides to take him to a hospital and have somebody else look after him. Blair and Eamon are not getting back together because Eamon can't forgive the sins of the past. I love it. I love that. So yeah, the sake that she shows that she has, the writer balls to stick such an ending and can stick that landing, straight up 5 out of 5. And I would give more if I could. And I'll be reading the sequel to this. I can't wait to read the sequel to this. Because the first book is never the best. It's usually the introduction to the world itself. If the second book is as good or better than this, I'm excited and I'm sold. I am going to be reading as many of her books as I possibly can, because she's definitely proven herself with this one book that I can... that she's actually really good at what she does. So pick this book up. I cannot stress that enough. Pick this book up. It's a straight up 9 out of 10. Amazing. Great job. And I'm gushing and rambling, so I'm going to cut this off now. Stay tuned next time for the next book I review, whatever that is. Who knows? I don't. Bye-bye.